guys, back again with another reaction video, and this time, I am going to talk about one of my favorite performances from a little bit back in the day, from Juan Matos and Kimberly Flores. But before I say that, I have a confession to make, y'all. I was watching, so this is in the midst of the pandemic that we're all going through, and I was looking on YouTube because my hair is getting a little unruly, and I tried to give myself a fade, and it did not go well. Actually, everything was going smooth, and then all of a sudden, one of the little clippers popped off, and like I went metal to head. And for fellas, y'all know what that means. It's just skin, you know what I mean? So I had a little chunk over here, so I had to take the one guard and get all up in it. So now the fade looks crazy, and I am going to be wearing this hat for a minute in this reaction video. There's some way of covering my head until it grows back in a little bit. Thankfully, I didn't mess up the top too much. I meant to. I was this close to going all of it off like old school, but for the meantime, I've decided against it. Anyway, going back to the reaction videos, let's get it. So, one thing, I've looked high and low and low and high for this song, and you know how stories happen and how old wives' tales and stuff, right? But I remember hearing somehow that, I'm gonna mess this story up. This is maybe someone who really knows the real story can tell me the truth. But if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, Juan saw someone performing this somewhere, like on the street or something, and then asked them to have it like as a track or something. So like the track isn't like something you could find. So it's some like a really randomly obscure song that he heard, that he asked for and got, and they did this to it, which I think, if that's a true story, or if I'm anywhere near the neighborhood of that being the true story, that is just the most fire thing ever, because I mean, you kind of have your own thing, you know what I mean, your own song. So no one's gonna do this again unless they rip the audio from one of these performances, or unless he shares it. She's so damn. You know, I don't even know a word. Okay, so watch, going back. Check this out. Juan, back in the day, he had this, I don't know, it was weird, because around this time, there was this whole thing where, like, a lot of stylish guys were coming out, like, who were unique with their thing, you know? And Juan was one of them. There was Frankie Martinez, there was Juan Matos, there was some other dude from Canada, but he came and went. He was like a shot in, just a breeze. He just came and went. I forgot his name. Orville? Anyway, he had this particular style, you know what I mean? Just something that caught your eye. Anyway, my point is, Juan was always known for being like super swag, and he had his own way of dancing, right? But the cool thing I love about this is they are doing themselves together. They're not trying to meet in the middle. They clearly have different movement qualities. So you can see when they turned around and they did that thing, you can see how Kimberly, she just freaking in it. Like her body is just all of it. Just watch it again. Watch this. So damn fire. All that body movement. And going back to the whole thing, I've touched on this a lot about facials. Those are real facials. She's in the moment. That's sincere. That's pure. You know what I mean? Don't ever watch a performance of mine and be like, dude, you don't have it. Because I know I don't have it. I'm still working on it. Yeah, I got things to work on too, y'all. So, but I see it, and then I'm just like, oh, because that's what I hope to achieve in my own dancing. So I'm so admiring people who just have it unlocked. You know what I mean? I'm gonna put this slide up. Hopefully this is right. All right. Juan looks all cool there. Woo! I don't know, man. Like, I would never think to wear that outfit, but that outfit is perfect for what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm consistently surprised because, if you wear the wrong outfit, and I've been very guilty of this, especially in some of these old shows. Back when we all started, I mean, our outfits were just awful, awful. I mean, I'm talking about, in those of you who were in that and who know what I'm talking about, we had some cut off white. Tank toppy type, like athletic shirts with like some gray jeans on it, and that was our performance piece. And all the guys and girls were wearing the same thing. It was crazy. It looked ridiculous. The ladies had on some like black leather pimp hats, and it just was just awful, awful. So now I'm looking, and this is about reading well on stage. Look at that color, the suspenders. I mean, they kind of look like Super Mario and stuff, but they look dope. They're like the flyest Super Mario in the whole game. So. Not like you're a Super Mario, I mean like the game. All snaky. Got the little MJ thing going right now, watch it. Quiet. That song, man, is so good. For those of you who have never ever heard this song, it's just like somehow it like. I always joke around. Why am I holding my dental floss? I always joke around about like where my soul is. I mean, I don't know. Is it all of me? Is it right here? I always say it's right here. I don't know why. That's probably where my appendix is. Anyway, my point is sometimes I have this feeling. Like I've talked to people about this. Like sometimes when I'm like kind of nerding out about dancing and whatnot. Notoriously, some of you who don't know me personally, there's this ongoing thing that I've had. I just don't like bachata. Yeah, I just don't. I'm sorry, I don't. I like the Dominican stuff. I love that stuff. But here in Chicago, where I'm from, they basically play that commercial stuff, and I'm just, again, without getting too far into my personal feelings on the matter, I am just adverse to things that are commercial, just in general. Like I don't like pop music for that reason, you know what I'm saying? So I find it to be like in that vein. That being the case, some people would be like, yo, how could you not feel that, you know? So my answer to this is that I feel like on an energy level, because I watched some weird movies where, they've broken down like people aren't even like physical, we're just like floating energy and stuff, right? And music is like vibration. And we, as energetic beings, are also in vibration, right? I'm getting heavy right now, I'm sorry. But I feel like sometimes you're in harmony with certain kinds of vibrations of music, which is why you feel it, right? So in my case, I love salsa. Like, I'm crazy about salsa. I'm a big salsa mambo head, you know what I mean? So that music speaks to me. Like, this song is speaking to my soul. Like, I feel it. I want to, like, get up and move and watch. It's kind of hard to watch them because I just want to dance, you know? So then on the other end of the spectrum, you have people who like all different kinds of music, whether that's a bachata or it's a damn waltz, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, it can go anywhere. So it's so cool to, like, I bet anything, and because this song is so unique, and I mean, I don't think anyone's ever done anything to this since then, that they were feeling it, and the people were feeling it because they've never heard the song before, you know? So it's such a cool coming together of two amazing dancers, an amazing piece of music, a great stage, the awesome visuals on the video and stuff. Come on, man. She puts movement in everything. Like, I love that. Like, I love when, you can walk, but you're putting something in it so it looks like something more than it is. Because there was a moment that when they just kind of walk to it and she's just all in her body. Ah, man. I can't get enough of that. And she just follows through with all her movement. I mean, don't get me wrong, look at Juan, but I can't keep my eyes off her. Also, I mean, it should go without saying, the choreo is so good. Like, the choreo is perfect. He also had this group. I don't know if he still does. Random story. Now that I'm thinking about Juan, I know this is random. I'm sorry. Like I'm kind of a tangent person, but like things pop in my head and I feel the need to say them, like random stories, right? So a while ago, I started a T-shirt company with my friend, and we came up with a design. He drew it. I think I might have come up with the wording on it. In that particular case, we kind of shared design duties on the shirts, and the picture was of a woman's face and it said "mulat" on it. In that picture, that drawing, Juan has it as a tattoo on his shoulder. Isn't that random? So weird. So me and him have always been cool because he remembers me like selling the shirt, and then we met in New York and all this stuff. So just random. Anyway, my point is, he also had a group called Fogarete de Juan Matos, and they were doing this kind of stuff right now. I should probably go back and react to one of those other ones because they got together with some of the dancers from Boston. I know everyone who's watching this probably knows the Burju shoes, but Burju was her and her husband, Victor, they were pretty accomplished. Like, they were out there doing their thing with Ache Machete for a long time, for many years. Now when you see her, she's selling her amazing stuff, but they were all like a collective of dancers, and they were dope. And they were doing this kind of like fusion-y, jazzy, stuff, which is just in line with what's happening here, but this is a little bit more funky. I'd love to know what she had a hand in this. Also, I don't know if I mentioned in the beginning or if I meant to, she kind of disappeared from dancing after she stopped dancing with Juan. I don't know the story. I'm not even getting into Wachinchen, but my point is, she's popped up a little bit. If you look her up, I've not, so maybe she's done a lot more than I know, but I happen to have seen her like in two separate things on television. One of them was like a sitcom, some cop show, and then she was also in Shine, that movie that came out from Ataka that he was in, or that I Don't Touch produced, or whatever had their hand in. She was in that movie too. So I mean, she's been doing acting. So if she's still doing it, good on her, and good luck to her. I hope she kills it out there. She's like a triple threat. So I don't know if it's this particular piece. I'm sorry, I keep interrupting. There is her little strap. I think there's two different performances of this piece. And I don't know if it happened already or it's about to happen, but you can see her right one slowly is kind of like creeping up here. And there's a moment where she's fixing it, but it's like the most perfect, sexiest, like nondescript but danced fixing of a strap ever. I hope she does it right now. No, I missed it. Wait, what's it? Is it here? Is it here? In it. Both of them are in it. Oh my God, this is so fire. It must have been the other one. What a pair, man. They're good. Their energy's so good together. I never saw him dance with anyone better than when I saw him dance with her. And she did that, a couple of those Fogarete pieces with him too. Some clips. I should react to some of those and rewatch them again because I loved what he was doing at the time. It was so inspired. It was so new, and I felt like I just gotta look up what my man's up to right now because things come and go, your own life happens, and you kind of lose track of what people are doing. So I've always been a big fan of Juan. He's always been like the coolest person in the world. He's funny as hell, and he's just a riot to be around. So Juan, if you ever see this brother, I hope you're doing well. And that's just this piece, which I have nothing but amazing things to say about. This is like one of my favorite pieces ever, just because of everything that's happening, the choreo, the costumes, the music, the dancing. Just come on, man. That's all I gotta say. I got nothing else to say. Salsa, love it. All right, if you guys like that, and if you've never seen that before, I'm happy to have shown that to you because that's so worth having seen, especially if you're Salcedo. So like, kind of know what's going on and know how we got to where we're currently at, because every single person that I've reacted to has had a hand in moving the ball forward or taking the ball in a different direction, right? So we always have to kind of like watch the people who are prominent and those who have been traveling forever because they've made their mark, you know. So kudos to the piece, love it. Haven't really seen it done as good since because he stopped doing it. So I hope to see this again. Juan, bring it back. This is fire. All right. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to your boy. I'll be hitting up some more stuff coming soon. Hopefully my hair will grow back. Whoosh! I will not be doing that again. Until next time, guys. Catch you on the next one. Peace.